shut the doors and lock that bitch.
and everything nice.
I hope they ain't my baby you talking to.
That's what girls are made of. But does this old nursery rhyme apply to all young girls? How about when they're ice cold killers? Desir Dennis was failed by her
Oh,
neglectful and alcoholic mother, Lucretia Isaac, causing the girl to face a juvie sentence for murder. Desir believed
wow, that's cold, bro. That's cold.
she was protecting her mom from a fight that her mother started. May the 30th, 2022, at Jernigan Gardens Apartments in Orlando, Florida, gunshots were heard toward the back of the apartment buildings. A 42-year-old woman, LaShawn Rogers, was found by police flat on the ground, unresponsive. She was accompanied by a crowd of witnesses and at least one person tending to the victim.
Man, she let her daughter go out like that. Oh no, this is nasty work, gang. This is nasty. Come on, man. Let me just say this, right? You let your daughter, you see what I'm saying, do your dirty work. You see what I'm saying? That's come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it ain't no father in that household. It is absolutely no father in that household. You know what I'm saying? That's it's not even funny, bro. It's just the man, you know how man, that's foolish. That's foolish.
She had a bullet hole to the chin. Officers took over revival efforts, holding pressure on LaShawn's chin when she was bleeding heavily. She was breathing when they arrived, but shortly after, they lost her pulse. They began performing CPR until fire department medics arrived. The medics transported LaShawn to Orlando Regional Medical Center, where she succumbed to her injury and was pronounced dead at 12:23 a.m. May 31st. Officers had begun questioning the small crowd. The consensus among them was that a young girl between 7 and 12 years old.
Who taught her how to shoot, gang? Who? Look. Right-handed. She gripping on the pistol real strong. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because she aiming high. You know what I'm saying? And with little she is, that gun is going to recoil, so it's going to drop and come back up. Ooh, that's just nasty work, man. You know what I'm saying? Mom made her 10-year-old daughter catch a body. You know what I'm saying? You turned your daughter into a cold killer at 10 years old. What was she doing with that gun in the first place? You see what I'm saying? Your job is to protect her, not her protect you, gang.
Is the one that shot LaShawn after her mother, Lucretia, got into a physical altercation with the woman. After the girl shot the gun, her and her mother hurried back to their apartment. Law enforcement approached the apartment, announcing themselves and demanding the two come outside. The mother-daughter duo submissively came out their front door with no issue. There was no one else inside the house. Lucretia was 31. Desir was 10 years old. They were handcuffed and taken into police custody. One officer reported hearing young Desir say, "Her family, they threatened me as if they were gonna threaten me." You see, she and her mother were taken to Orlando Police Department headquarters. Now I do have the mom's police interview. Check this out.
Like I have a right to ask you when I have my call.
You don't get a call right now.
I gave you my trust, you turned it to dust. Now I'm in the silence.
So when I get a call,
You can have a seat, or I'm just gonna.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
Go say fuck ass cracker.
I know, it's insane. This will be on my interrogation channel later in the week. The crime scene was all taped up. Backup was called to maintain crowd control, as the shooting created quite a buzz in the neighborhood. Officers found an empty .40 caliber Winchester shell on the ground next to a pool of blood. They then filed for a warrant to search the house. Officers began questioning individuals at the apartments for more than concrete details. Many of their stories overlapped, but some details varied. Law enforcement spoke with one man, Marshall Tirado Jr., who identified himself as LaShawn's boyfriend. He reported that he and LaShawn were having a late-night party around the grill, celebrating Memorial Day weekend outside their apartment a few doors down from Lucretia. He stated Lucretia and her daughter approached LaShawn and confronted her about a recent argument between the two. Lucretia was intoxicated and she was the first
Oh
to punch
no.
LaShawn in the face.
Look at man. That's a witness. The witness saying that they seen you and your daughter walk down there and confront that lady. So that means you gave your daughter, ooh, this ugly game, because I don't know how this go play out in court, but you better believe that little girl already had the gun. So if y'all walk down there, y'all get into it, and you hand her the gun, and they're gonna cook you, ma'am. Yeah, ooh, they gonna roast beef you. Oh, they gonna, yeah, look at that. Yeah, you're 30. Oh, yeah, you ain't never gonna see day again. Daylight ever again. It's over. And we pray to God that little girl get mercy behind what you made her do, man. That is crazy work. Let's go.
LaShawn, not being the kind to back down, swung back at Lucretia. Then the two engaged in a brawl, which was quickly broken up by Marshall and some others. Marshall tried to bring his girlfriend back to their apartment while Lucretia and Desire yelled after them. LaShawn broke free, and Marshall noticed Desire holding a black firearm. Not even a second later, she shot LaShawn. LaShawn immediately collapsed, and Marshall knelt down next to her. According to him, Lucretia grabbed the gun from her daughter and pointed it directly at Marshall. He recalled being horrified as he looked down the barrel, waiting for her to shoot. He got up, backed away with his hands up, fearing for his life. And for whatever reason, Lucretia lowered the gun and she and Desire went back to their apartment. Officers moved on from the distraught boyfriend and were able to locate one of the witnesses who called 911. This woman did not permit her information to be released, so we will refer to her as the witness. The witness was relaxing outside of her apartment when Lucretia approached her first and was talking loudly about LaShawn over an argument on a social media post the two had engaged in recently.
Oh
Yes,
my God, that's
all of
it,
this
man.
beef
That's
was
look,
over a
hold
social
on, bro.
media post.
That is
Lucretia.
This is it, bro. This is it. Look at all this for social media. Come on, gang. So you brought your happy ass down there talking about, yeah, ho, what you said on Facebook. Why you post? Man, come on. You brought your daughter into this? Man, I don't care how much this lady crying. I don't care. Oh, I didn't know she was going. You gave her the gun. That's grown-up business. You had beef with a grown-ass woman. What you taking a 10-year-old? 10-year-old could sit in the house. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all remember back in the day, nigga, when our auntie, our mama, or grandma went shopping, they left us in the car. Just like if they had to go short run, they left us in the house, told us, don't you break nothing, don't you touch nothing, and I'll be back. Yeah, come on, man. We don't want to hear that. No. Look at your motherfucking ass. Look, you had that girl when you was 20 years old. So she only spent 10 years of her life with you now because she'll never see you ever again. Now you can hang that shit up. Hell yeah. Look at this. Man, come on, man. That little girl, 10 years old, barely know how to tie her motherfucking shoe out here. A 10-year-old don't like to brush their teeth. Don't give me that shit. I know a lot of 10-year-old little girls that I'd be like, brush your teeth. Yeah, you all eating Cheetos and Takis and shit. Yeah, man. It's something in the food, man, because if a little kid have that type of energy to do that, oh, man, come on.
Wanted to act hard, and if you play with feathers, you'll get your ass tickled, because look at how it ended. LaShawn overheard the argument and told the witness to go inside to avoid getting involved in any drama. Lucretia then approached LaShawn, and the witness confirmed she was first to throw a punch. Let's note here, every single witness on the scene testified Lucretia is the one that started the fight, as in the aforementioned feathers. She noticed Lucretia was wearing a pink backpack, which she remembered Desire rummaging through as the two older women fought.
That's a
the
kid's
witness saw
backpack.
the young girl shoot LaShawn and didn't see any movement from the victim after she fell. She heard Desire saying something along the lines, "You fuck with my mama, you don't hit my mama." Every witness on the scene also
Your mama be
attested
hitting you.
to Desire making this kind of remark after she fired the gun. The witness,
Man, look at her. She crying like a motherfucker. Let me tell y'all something, right? When you have a child saying, don't you hit my... First of all, your mama run around here with a gun? A gun? Come on. Man, you hitting your daughter. This woman, you could... Look at her, man. Come on, man. You turn off the lights. You like, who is that talking? Yeah, she didn't put her hands on her daughter before. You see what I'm saying? You threw away her life. Life. Let me tell you something. I get it. Sometimes life be so effing hard, man, to the point where it's like you looking for somebody to give you a reason to crash out. You know what I'm saying? You looking to do some crazy ish just so you don't have to be accountable for this life that you got to live, man. You only get one life. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes our cards are dealt bad. Sometimes you get dealt a bad card. But listen, you get a apartment, a Section 8 apartment, you know what I'm saying? You got kids, you got some kind of income coming in. One thing we know about women, if you have a baby, you're going to get some type of income coming in. So yeah, man, you could have got out there and got you 2 jobs. She could have stayed in the extra daycare or something. You didn't have to move how you was moving, man. You see what I'm saying? And over a Facebook post, you're 31. It's nowhere in hell at 31 you should be entertaining somebody who texts some bullshit about on Facebook. Who still watches Facebook, man? Let's go.
So Lucretia grabbed the gun, then pointed down at LaShawn. She wondered if the mother was going to fire a second round into the victim. She recalled Lucretia seemed to show no remorse or care for LaShawn. The witness told officers she was familiar with the mother and daughter, remembering that Lucretia had dreadlocks or braids, and her daughter was wearing a bonnet and a camo robe when it happened. Is it bonnet or bonnet? I don't know. She
Bonnet.
recalled there was another woman with the two, but the unknown woman fled after Desir shot the gun. It was known by the witness and most neighbors that Lucretia and the unknown woman would drink together often. There was also another witness.
Okay, so we know you're going to watch this demo at double speed. All software engineers do. Buckle up, we're keeping it quick.
Kenya Griffin. She didn't physically witness the argument, but she heard Lucretia yell out
that, a
somewhere
piece of her
nearby
chin
afterwards,
on the
"You done
concrete?"
shot the lady," at her daughter. She recalled the pink pad and seeing the gun in Lucretia's hand as the two walked away. Kenya helped tend to LaShawn while they waited for cops to arrive. And one of the last witnesses, a woman who also did not want her information disclosed, knew Lucretia better than the other witnesses and referred to her
Are you crying
as
on your
Krisha.
lineup,
She was
though?
showering when she heard the shotgun in her house. This witness turned the shower off and looked outside of her apartment. She witnessed Desir pacing back and forth in the corridor with the gun in her hand. She saw Krisha yell at her daughter, "You shot the lady," to which Zia responded, "But they was bothering you." The two walked away, so the woman came outside and saw LaShawn, then called 911. The mother and daughter returned back toward their house and the gun was now gone. This woman asked Krisha what happened. She said nothing, only glared at her before going back into her home. The woman recalled having a troubled history with Krisha. Krisha would get drunk and become aggressive, accusing people of talking poorly about her. And
Look at
that's
you
this
and threw your
case
life
in a
away.
nutshell. Intoxication, feathers, tickled ass. During the argument, the woman remembered Desir demanding she didn't talk to her mother that way. She was surprised Krisha would let her daughter speak to an adult that way, which Krisha responded, Desir could say whatever she wanted and she didn't need to respect anyone.
That type of mentality just showed that you bad parenting. You see what I'm saying? And you can't act surprised. Look at this backpack. This is a child's backpack. You're 31. You're not even in school. Your child is a child. So we're assuming this got to be your daughter's backpack.
The woman knew Krisha owned a gun and that the gun was always in the pink backpack. Krisha would often start arguments with other people. When these arguments took place, Krisha or her daughter would go into her apartment and get the bag so she could threaten people with her gun. The woman believed Krisha would start the fights with the intent of being able to shoot someone. Krisha drunk and Krisha sober were two different people, feathers and ass. While she was sober, she was quiet and barely talked to anyone. However, she was drunk the majority of the time and it was exhausting. Oftentimes, Krisha would allow Desir to sit outside on her own, where the young girl would follow her mom's example and try to start fights. That's just so sad. Officers then searched their house. Inside, they found the pink backpack with cash, credit cards, and an ID belonging to Lucretia. They also found her cell phone and drug paraphernalia. In another room, they found a camo robe with blood spatter. They did not find the gun inside. While all this questioning and searching was going on at the apartments, detectives were questioning young Desir just down the hall from the mother. Desir was only in 5th grade and stated she was able to read and write. Detectives
you crying
ensured
now.
the child was able to fully understand her Miranda rights before questioning. So then Desir began recounting her version of the story. She said her mother was drunk and told her daughter that she wanted to speak with LaShawn, woman to woman. Her mum told her to stay inside, but the little girl couldn't resist and followed her mum out. Dazia recalled that a friend was with her mum and was present when the argument started. The friend was supposedly holding the gun. The girl also saw LaShawn holding an unknown object, possibly a medium-sized rock. This rock she hit Lucretia over the head, resulting in a cut. Keep in mind, detectives were interviewing her mother at the same time. Lucretia had no cuts on her head and also didn't say anything about LaShawn hitting her with an object.
You're lying.
Dazia went on to tell police that LaShawn threatened she'd bring her family.
Black people, man, when you committing these crimes, make sure that you have a legitimate alibi. Make sure that your is zip tight, where you know these people will ask you thousands of questions. And don't try to make yourself make sense when you're dealing with like this. This is just absurd, bro. Like, this is crazy. That you saying they threw a rock and got, they would go check for that. They're never gonna take your word. Man, come on, gang. This was just unnecessary. How you crying? And now you gotta apologize to your daughter. She took a life. It wouldn't that this woman right here will never come back. It is over. You didn't assassinate this woman's life because of a Facebook post. Come on, gang. This is crazy. Let's go.
To jump Lucretia. Dazia claimed she had anger issues and became very worked up when she heard LaShawn threaten her mom. She briefly recalled the incident of the shooting and said afterward that the friend grabbed the gun and left the scene. She said the gun was not in the house. Detectives decided it was not helpful to interrogate the little girl and thought it would be helpful to transfer Dazia to a child protective team. Because of course, she's all over the place. She has trauma right now. Maybe what she's saying isn't the truth. So the child protective team began a separate interview that was more age appropriate. The 10-year-old said her and her mum were at the friend's house earlier on. Her mum and her friend were drinking Hennessy. Whilst the adults partied,
Not the
Zia
fact she
played
know
with the
what her
friend's
mama
children,
drinking,
Nini
man.
and Taylor. For some reason, they needed to return home to drop off some speakers.
The daughter said her and her mama was drinking Hennessy. Boy, that's the devil's juice right there. What? That is a shame. If your daughter like, yeah, my mama and that lady was over there drinking Hennessy. You know the brand? Come on, man. That's crazy. Let's go.
Because they were listening to music on, so they took the bus home. It was late at night when they headed home. Dazia pointed out that nobody else lives with her and her mom, and they lived on the first floor. After dropping off the speakers, they were going to return to their friends when they ran into LaShawn. Dazia noted that LaShawn always gave her mom a hard time.
Man, she looked like she with it. She don't look like no, man, look at her. You know what I'm saying? She looked like she with it too, gang. She looked like she's like, well, come on then, bitch. We can get busy out here. You know what I'm talking about? Bitch, like, hold on. One thing you don't fuck with is a bitch who could drive a car with no steering wheel liquid in that motherfucker, man. You understand me? Yeah, man. She looked like she beast mode. She beasting. You know what I'm saying? Sorry that you lost your life, but you look like you would squabble up. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, she do it one too. Let's go.
In fact, Dazia even said that before she was born, while she was inside her mother's womb, LaShawn tried to shoot her mother. In other words, kill her, the baby in the womb. Dazia knew her mum and LaShawn had gotten into 3 fights before, 2 of which she was witness to. Dazia said that there were 4 people outside, 2 males and 2 females, who were discussing how Lucretia was always starting problems with LaShawn. Dazia said LaShawn overheard this group conversation and began yelling at Lucretia, saying she had AIDS and diabetes. It isn't confirmed if Lucretia does or doesn't have these diseases. Either way, they seem like a very childish insult.
So that was on the Facebook post. So Lucretia allegedly got AIDS, but if that's not true, then why you even come on, man? So you mean to tell me because somebody put out a fake lie on you? You know what I'm saying? You know you don't got no AIDS. That's, man, ignore that. So you mean to tell me, man? Come on, gang. Come on, gang. You know we all come from the bottom. We all come from the bottom, man. But at the same time, man, when somebody is already down, you don't kick them down because shit, nigga, sometimes they might remove you so they could come up. Let's go.
Dazia said her mum became upset after this and then started arguing back. LaShawn left the scene to possibly go get a gun, and one of the males present held Lucretia back. LaShawn returned and began to strike the girl's mum while she was being restrained.
Oh, her
Dazia
name is
told
LaShawn.
detectives at this moment one of the males dropped a gun. This is
It's
when
just
she
a
grabbed
cold
it
look.
up and then shot LaShawn. They did ask her, why did you grab the gun in the first place? She responded, because someone is always messing with my mom or starting with her. She did deny talking to adults disrespectfully or knowing anything about a gun being in the house. She also couldn't explain how people just appeared on the scene. She then went on to discuss her life. She informed the team that she knew her father had been physical with her mom before, but wasn't really in the picture anymore. The child told them, I wish I could rewind. Dazia was then released to the Department of Children and Families. I don't have any information on her police interview. Now, all the adult witnesses agreed on what happened. Video evidence was still much appreciated by law enforcement. A younger girl, who I'll refer to as TS, had taken a video only 9 seconds long. This included the shot being fired. It showed the end of the verbal altercation where Dazia reached into her mom's backpack as she was wearing it, where she retrieved the gun. She loaded it, racked the chamber, walked in front of her mom, and pointed it at LaShawn. LaShawn was off the camera at this moment. The video confirmed it, not some gun that fell and Dazia picked up, which is what she told police. And what's key? Lucretia did not try to stop her daughter from pointing the gun or shooting it.
No,
She only continued yelling at LaShawn. After the gun went off, the video stopped as everyone fled. TS, the girl who made this video, she only began recording because she thought there would be a fist fight and didn't anticipate anyone dying. This video proved that Dazia, though only 10 years old, knew where the gun was and how to use it. Without a shadow of a doubt, the girl grabbed it and maliciously shot LaShawn in the face out of anger. And detectives suspected Lucretia and her daughter got rid of the gun somewhere afterward. Neither of them sustained any sort of injuries from the incident. Eventually, Lucretia was charged with manslaughter by culpable negligence, aggravated assault with a firearm, negligent storage of a firearm, and neglect of a child. For all these charges, she pled guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison, along with 3 years of probation and mandatory parenting classes.
Want a career in audio engineering? First Institute gives you the tools to enter the industry in less than a year.
Dazia was charged with second-degree murder and was taken to juvenile detention. LaShawn's family were extremely disappointed with the small sentence for Lucretia. LaShawn's mom, Laura, said during the trial, God is the final judge.
Man, yeah, that's crazy work, man. Like, nah, nigga, nigga, what? Shit, nigga, man, that was a play right there, man. You didn't let your daughter, man, she knew exactly how. You stood there and watched. You didn't try to grab the gun from your child. You let her do that shit, bruh. Like, I don't care how y'all call that shit. She's wrong. 5 years in prison time and 3 years probation. Come on, man. Let me. Man, listen. If Dazia get a short sentence, this was probably the perfect crime. You know what I'm saying? It was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's crazy work.
As Lucretia could be seen wiping her tears in court. LaShawn's sister, Sharetta, she said, this is a slap on the wrist and a pat on the back. 5 years is not enough. It's not okay to take a life and this is not justified. LaShawn's daughter, Asha, also said, I always thought me and my mom would grow old together in her last days. I would take care of her. I mean, the unstable environment and the poor parenting that Dazia experienced, it's fair to say her actions were largely influenced by Lucretia. And you know something? This notion of her grabbing the gun and shooting LaShawn, it could have just been her trying to impress her mother. However, why don't we now go through all the crime scene photos? Okay, so I'm going to start with the apartment in which this incident took place. And we're just going to run through the crime scene photos just so you can get a feel, get a closer look on the area and how it all happened. It's one thing me telling you the story, but it's another thing you seeing it directly, right? So this is the apartment where she was walking back after being at her friend's house, getting drunk all day. apartment 1440, or that's the block or the row of apartments. I don't know. Forgive my voice, by the way. I currently have pneumonia, so forgive me if I sound like a donkey. So this is an alleyway where I think a bunch of people were hanging out, a lot of the witnesses. And if we zoom in here, this might be her house. I'm not sure. I think this is police just interviewing another witness. I don't know if this barbecue was in use, but I mean, this did take place in May. Florida, May, it's going to be boiling outside. If I was there, I'd be looking nice and crispy for sure. So maybe the people gathering around were having a barbecue. Who knows? So a closer look at the other side. So here's police questioning other witnesses. The actual crime scene may have been this area. It could have actually been on the other side. We'll confirm as we go, as the photos go along, because there's no blood anywhere here. So maybe this is just an area where the people were gathered and the police have just locked this off just to, gather evidence and forensics and all that kind of stuff. So maybe this isn't the direct crime scene itself. This is a different angle looking left. You got people here outside wondering what the hell is going on. Possibly some more witnesses. This is a little bench area, so maybe they were having a barbecue. You got police here. What are they doing? Maybe just canvassing the area. So this is now from the view where the witnesses are, or those other people in the photo, facing her actual apartment. This is the same place, just facing the other way. As you can see, police is in this area. Here is the barbecue I mentioned earlier. So you got a bunch of trash on the floor, or maybe this is where the crime scene took place. You see the bit of blood on the floor? Huh. This is a hat on the floor. Trash. Seems like an item of clothing, maybe. This is possibly more blood on the floor, or maybe the shell casing fell here somewhere. This is blood stain on the floor. This is so this is a bandage. Maybe they were trying to you know how they say put pressure on the wound? Maybe this is what Marshall was doing. Here's the shell casing. There's a better view.
Got it.
Interesting.
Should have picked up your shell case, man.
And I believe this is the other part of the bullet. There you go. Here's a closer look. Yes, they were having a barbecue. See, I knew something like that was going on. The coals, the barbecue. Is that still the chicken there? I mean, I'm guessing they were barbecuing. I mean, you've got these other barbecues here too, public barbecues. They were barbecuing and gunshots fell off, and they must have just ran and left the chicken there, Yeah, that is a chicken. Looks like chicken wings to me. Or is it something different? Let me know. Is it look from the other side? Yeah, there you go. There's a drumstick right there. Yeah, it's all burnt because they must have just fled the scene and left it there. So yeah, I think the local community must have just gathered around, and then the beef popped off. This is a better view. Chicken wings, chicken wings, chicken wings, chicken wings, chicken wings, drumstick. So this is where Desir was taken to the police and her mugshot, but given her age, it's all redacted. As you can see, every image redacted. But now we get to Lucretia. She looks devastated. She also looks a mess. Look in her face.
Wow.
Do you think she's drunk at this moment? I mean, I know she looks sad and distraught, but she could be drunk at the same time, right? Because she was. This is a better view. See the tears coming down her face? The position of her eyes, she's not looking directly at the camera. I think she's just thinking, what the fuck just happened? If you really break it down, this Muppet all over a social media post. I have gotten into plenty of arguments online because I'm a moron and I have too much time on my hands. But for it to come to this, bro, you're just an idiot. Feathers and ass is a polite way to put it. So let's have a look at her hands. No wounds or defensive wounds or anything of that nature. Remember, the child told police that she had a stone, a rock, hit over her head. And you would think in a scuffle of that nature, she would try and fight back, put her hands in the way as you naturally would. Nothing. Hands look crystal clean. This is a side view of Lucretia. Another side view. Other side view. Other side view. And this is the back of Lucretia.
Are you drowning in payday loan debt? Have you taken out multiple payday loans and are unable to pay them back?
All while
sometimes, man, you know, some people need to go to jail, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it get hard in these streets, man, and in this world, man. And some people, man, they just tired, you know, because it's easier in jail than it is on the streets. You got three hots in a cot. You see what I'm saying? You got a place to lay your head. You got a law library. You know, you know, in women's prisons, you're heavily protected. You know, it can go down, but you don't got to worry about paying no bills. You see what I'm saying? 5 years, your daughter be 15. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. I think what they get like 8-10 years. You know what I'm saying? You'll reunite with her.
She was arrested. Here's a close-up of her face. Again, no blood, no marks, nothing of that nature. And on the other side, no wounds, scratches, punches, bruises, or anything of that nature. So this is an item of clothing I think LaShawn was wearing. Some shorts here, maybe on the victim. Back of the shorts. Blood stain on the right. Blood stain there. This is a hat, maybe? What is this?
Bonnet.
Maybe this is what she was wearing. I don't know. Unless she was wearing this underneath. So now we get to Lucretia's house. This is the kitchen. She has this ranch dressing. I think it's disgusting, by the way. I wonder what she was cooking in this pot. When you see a pot like this, what do you think? As Pakistanis, we would normally make like a beef stew and something like that. Have a look at this.
Why you got ranch on the stuff, man? Come on, they got the pizza slicer right there. Could be some gumbo in that thing, man. Come on, man. But if that stove is on, you just asking for a fire, man. This is crazy.
Pizza cutter. When was the last time that was cleaned? Holy Moses. Is that pasta on the side? Got a ketchup bottle. This is fruit roll-up. Yep. My son loves those. And this is bread that I do get sometimes myself. Interesting.
All right, Chair. So, you know, shout out, you know, to True Red Crimes, man. Dope content. Yeah, man. I think that the mama she didn't get enough time, man. You know what I'm saying? She let her daughter go down for a beef that she had no business being in. You know what I'm saying? That was your mama's beef. You should have never brought your daughter out. If that were California, I swear to goodness, nigga, 20 years max. Hey, y'all drop y'all opinions in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you on the next video. Let's get it out of here.